Hey guys, oh my goodness, I have literally traveled the blizzarding winds, the ferocious storms of the rain today, and gone down the steepest roads and along the highest peaks that any residential place can have to get to this place called Bronte County. I've literally feared for my life for the past half hour trying to get here, and I've got to show you. You have to believe it. You have to see it to believe it. The roads are absolutely wild. Right, see, I've been driving down roads like this. Oh my gosh, look, it says Victoria Road. Who would have thought? So see that road down there all the way. I've had to attempt to get to Bronte County, and people are driving casually. Now, it doesn't look anything bad, but when you're turning from that corner, it's pretty sketchy. And yeah, I went down some place even steeper. And there are roads here in the UK. If you are not familiar to the roads in the UK, you'll find that randomly there are country lanes that are 60 miles per hour, and they're so narrow. They're narrower than what a truck or a lorry could get down, and they're so steep. And as I was driving down this road, it was super steep, and there was a big flooded puddle, and there was only one way to get there through. There was like a little pass bridge area, and then out of nowhere there was a beautiful viaduct that looked like something out of Harry Potter, I swear. So I'm gonna find the picture of that viaduct and tag it. Now I'm trying to get to this place where there is one of the most famous novels on planet Earth, apparently, called The Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. So and I'm going to pay homage to her, especially during this rainy season. So wish me luck to get there safely, guys. Right, guys, so I finally made it to the Bronte Museum. If you don't know who Bronte is, they're three sisters. I can't remember all the names. Emily, Charlotte, and what's the third one? Is it Anne? And they've written different various novels in the west of Yorkshire. That's where we are. The famous one that's been hyped up recently is the Wuthering Heights. Now, it is raining here. It's eased off a bit. It was raining like mad, and in true Bronte fashion, we are here in the rain on a random Wednesday afternoon or morning. Yeah, I've just driven the sketchiest roads in my life. I've driven so many places abroad and domestic, but honestly, those roads I've driven just now to get here was an experience and a half. Beautiful but sketchy, and it's literally put me on edge for this experience. So I can't wait to go to Bronte's house, and hopefully I can have some tea. Right, guys, so I'm literally heading down the footsteps, the pathways that Bronte would have taken. I think they're buried in this church as well. I think I read that there is like a vault in this church that they were buried in. This is a bit like, whoa. Oh my. Look, the Bronte graves. Here we go. The Bronte family are not buried in the churchyard, but in a vault. Well, I did read it right. Now, you don't need October to feel a bit spooky or gothic. If you love the gothic literature, if you love being in spaces that kind of give you that kind of feeling, this is the place to be. I mean, I'm not really a hardcore goth, but even I'm feeling some kind of ethereal way. Look around. This is incredible. Imagine living there though. Like, you've got a view of graveyards, but then you've got a view of where Bronte sisters used to live, which is over there. Now, it's £13. Funny enough, the number 13. You've got Friday the 13th this week. It's £13 for an adult entry. I can't remember how much a child is, but you can also get a membership as well, which means you get free entry all year round. we're going to explore it. I think that's a pretty good deal to keep this place alive. No pun intended. Bloody hell, sorry, I'm a bit freaked out now, but in a beautiful way. Look how beautiful these gravestones are. I don't want to be disrespectful. Oh my gosh, look at this. John Pickles memory. Wow, guys, this is crazy. And wife of James Pratt. Okay. It's a bit of a sketchy feeling right now. I've never actually walked through a graveyard like this. How do I feel? I don't know, maybe ghosts are following me right now. I don't get a bad feeling though. I feel like pleasant. Like I feel people here are at peace. I hope they are. Gonna see what view we got. What terrifies me more than here is the roads. How beautiful is that? Right, there's Bronte's house. There is Bronte's house. What am I on about? Now, if you don't wrap up and have gloves like these, especially leather gloves, when it comes to temperatures, now we are in February, which is considered one of the coldest months in the UK if you're travelling. So it's definitely worth getting a strong pair of gloves. Otherwise, you will freeze, even with those cotton mitten ones. Now I'm going to take a bit of a view of this church. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just love that kind of Gothic architecture. I'm going to explore the town. I'm going to explore, hopefully if I can explore the church to find the vault where they were buried. I'm also going to explore the house back there. And finally, to top off, if we have enough time, to go to a place where she would find solace, especially the Brontë sisters, Emily Brontë would find solace. They call it the waterfall area. So we're going to discover this as well. And hopefully I can just get to know people who live here and see how these famous writers impacted the way of life here. I've never been here. I've always wanted to come here. So here we are. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh, how pretty is this? There's always an American shouting. Literally in Bronte's backyard or front yard. And behind me are Americans shouting. There's always one. Sorry guys if you're American, but it's true. You can hear him. You hear him before you see him. Right guys, so I've just literally finished going to the Brontë house and I learnt so much. I'm not going to lie to you, I've not read all of their books, so I can't stand here in front of you and say that I'm very knowledgeable on everything. It's part of British culture, literature, and it's one of the places to pay homage to if you are wanting to learn a bit more about the greats. One of the most brooding, dark novels written of all time from an English author. Wuthering Heights, for example, and also Charlotte Brontë wrote Jane Eyre, and there's many other poems and literature and even art. So it made me appreciate much more these literary legends. Now we're going into the town. I couldn't imagine living here, and like the privacy of, or the lack of privacy, lots of tourists, especially in the afternoon. You can see like it's cobbled stone. It's really quiet, guys. I wonder how much this is going for. I'm taking the footsteps that the Brontë sisters would have taken on their daily commute in the town. Quite cool. As you can see, there's like this limestone that dominates this town, and its appearance gives it that kind of gothic, grey, gloomy day. So pretty here. The Brontë beers, This would be in summertime really busy, so I've got it at the perfect time. You can get to see the real atmosphere. Their novels would be very atmospheric, and in this town it's very atmospheric. Now you can see in the distance here, well, short distance, you've got a pub called the Black Bull. The Bronte family were acquainted with. I think this is the church that they're buried in. I don't think coming here in summer is as good as winter, simply for the atmospheric experience. If you've ever been to Edinburgh, the stone is similar in terms of how dark and gloomy it is. Not the same stone, but it's got that atmospheric kind of feeling. Okay, history. Let's go to the church. Now I'm going to walk up and down here. Quite frankly, it's, oh my gosh, so I'm not the only influencer here. I hate to say the word influencer. For me, I just am exploring, really. I'm not trying to influence anyone to come here or do anything. I'm just letting the story unfold as we speak. Oh, there's a bakery. But yeah, it's just nice to share this journey with you, really. And can you believe it? There's a car coming. I'm telling you now, if you're not confident at driving, don't do it. Park at the edge outside, because all these roads are uphill, downhill. I can just imagine summertime being so pretty, but so busy. Now, it's off-peak season. Oh, this is creepy. Ooh, a bit of Chucky, why not? Closed. The Peculiar Shop, no shit. You won't catch me there in a heartbeat. But anyways, if you want to know a fun fact about me that I rarely share, I used to live with someone who used to create dolls for a living. Could you believe it? These dolls were attached to spider legs, and she used to live below me. It was a house share, so I only found it out because I found her handle online or something like that, and I couldn't believe what I was absolutely shocked what she was creating below me. So that just gave me a bit of a flashback, and I thought, oh gosh, if I do anything wrong, she's gonna hex me with a curse. But hey, here we are, still kicking. Wow. Ooh, welcome-ish. Wow, so beautiful. See in the distance the appeal of why certain novels are created, minus the bins. The appeal of this place, this village, is very quaint. You can see how you could easily get lost into a romanticist kind of romanticism. If you're a tourist but you want to be off the beaten track, I would say definitely give this village a chance, because it will surprise you. It's one of those places that is not like your big cities, but it's got heritage, it's got history here. I bet you any money locals get absolutely, like, when they see people like me with bloody cameras and talking, they must get annoyed. They just want their quiet, quaint life. But hey, the cat's out the bag. What can you do? Right. Wow. Ooh. Right, I'm walking back uphill, back to the car park. And luckily I've got my trusted trail trainers on, so if you're ever going to come and visit here, make sure you're wearing the right footwear. Doesn't matter the season, especially during the winter, so you don't slip and trip. It can be a little bit of a workout, but to be honest, it's so pleasant here. Really nice, really quaint. You know, honestly, I would definitely come back. Oh, look at what I've done. Yo guys, that was an epic climb. Anyone who lives here, give me a shout out in the comments saying, oh, you took a picture of my house or my business, and I will give you a shout out on my small following, small but mighty following. Thanks to everybody who's been with me so far on this little journey that I'm on. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a continuous being consistent, constantly. Oh look, Bronte Street. Look at that. On every corner you're seeing something. Imagine living on Bronte Street. Christmas must be absolutely magical here. Afternoon. Magical time. Now, if you're like not a Brit, you're not gonna find people outwardly going to you and saying, hey, how's your day? But Yorkshire people are really friendly, so you can do that and they will respond. But for the most part, it's not. It's a bloody Wednesday on a gloomy, rainy day. Right, I'm gonna make my way back to the good old trusty steed, and we're gonna make our way to our last stop. Peace.